Hello, hello. Amira Alvarez here, founder and CEO of The Unstoppable Woman. Okay, so I got this brainstorm this morning, straight from God, I think, Spirit, Source, the universe, saying, you know, there were a couple things that I got, but the one was to talk about beauty. And I think I have a whole series on beauty as well. But then as I dropped in a little bit further, one of the things that came to me was there is exhaustion for women in business, and it's a big effing deal. And I wanted to pull back the curtain on that because I hear about it behind the scenes from my clients, and I help them work through it and really remain unstoppable while being aligned with what their personal needs are, and walking that line between pushing too hard and staying committed, chilling out versus checking out. Okay, and there's a line to walk. And I thought this morning the big download was to talk to you who are listening to this video about my own personal experience with exhaustion that's happening right now. In fact, it's been happening for the last, at least 6 months, started midway through last year. And to just expose it a little bit and talk to you in a series of videos about how I have navigated that. It hasn't always been pretty. There's been some WTF moments, like screaming at the walls, and I have continued to grow my business, and I've continued to show up for my clients, and I've continued to do my work in this world, and I think it's important to talk about how this all works. So that's what this Exposing Exhaustion series is all about. Today I want to talk to you, frame a little bit about what's happening for me and why I decided to share it. So what's happening to me? As if you've been following me, you know that I moved to Denver in the middle of last year, June 1st, May 31st, if you want to be really specific. And I loved Denver. It was amazing for me. It was such a beautiful place. I had a beautiful apartment. I was so excited to be there. It was walkable, gorgeous, all this stuff. And then I started getting exhausted. I would get this physical exhaustion, this brain fog. And I went to a functional medicine doctor. I thought it was the altitude, so then I moved to a lower altitude place. I've been exploring what's been causing this exhaustion. It's not constant, okay? It comes, it goes. And I will tell you that it's become quite a thing in my life, a thing that my mind obsesses about. I'm not pleased about that. I'd love to be able to set that down and just be content and at ease with whatever energy I have. But I have to admit, I'm quite addicted to attach, maybe that's a better word, to having high energy in my life, having the energy to do whatever I want, whenever I want. That to me is freedom. Just along with financial freedom, energetic freedom is huge. Your health is huge. So when I started feeling exhaustion, I had to figure out what was going on, and I will tell you more about that as we go through this series. But for today's Facebook Live, I wanted to share why I am going to be talking about exhaustion. So not only is it something that people have in their business, right? There's overwhelm, and then there's burnout and things that exhaust you. There is mental, emotional, spiritual, well, not spiritual, but mental, emotional frames in your mind that cause exhaustion. And there's all sorts of things that cause exhaustion, that in actual physical things that cause exhaustion, health issues that cause exhaustion, and it affects how you're showing up in your business. And so I want to be able to bring this teaching, this learning to more people, so that when you are experiencing exhaustion, if you experience exhaustion, you'll have some tools to do that. So that's point number one in terms of why I'm bringing this out in the open. Point number two, and I think this is even more important to all of you, is that I don't want this dichotomy between like an inner secret, like I've told my clients, but I haven't told all my clients, or I'm showing up in the world in one way, but really this is happening behind the scenes. That's okay. You don't have to communicate everything about your life to everyone. There's a right to know and appropriateness as part of this. But if it starts to feel like a secret, or like you're hiding something, or you're not fully expressed, or someone could use it like against you if they found out like you were saying all of this, but you were having this in the background, that's not okay. That's just, well, it's not okay for me. I want to live my life in a way where nothing can touch me. I have nothing that creates like a secret that makes me vulnerable to persecution from someone else. I know that seems kind of heavy, but this is a transferable concept to anything in your life. Secrets create that guilt and shame, and they hold you back from doing your work in this world. And they make you scared. And fear is that driver that drives, like, whether, you know, it drives doubt, worry, all of that. It drives your actions. It drives what you're willing to do or don't do. Fear is a real effort. I'm trying to swear less, but you guys, you just might have to get used to the fact that I swear. Okay. So that's what I have for you today. So I hope you tune into this series. I think it's going to be amazing. I want to give sort of the blow by blow of what's going on for me, and to talk about how I've handled it. And first point, in fact, I am sharing it with you. That's one way to handle it. Now, it's not the first thing I've done because it's been going on for a while. But today, that's like from this point forward, this is how we're doing it. Okay, have an awesome day. Rock it out. Be unstoppable. I would love to hear about what's happening for you with exhaustion or anything related to that, like burnout or overwhelm. Okay, mwah. Take care.